Aden Country Park is situated in the heart of Buchan. The Aden estate was originally owned by the prominent and influential Keith family, Scotland's Earls Marshal. For over 400 years they were landlords of Aden estate until 1715, when the first Jacobite rebellion was crushed. Aden was initially purchased by the Ferguson family, who owned the Kinmundy estate nearby. Then in 1758, ownership of the Aden estate changed hands again and remained with the Russell family for about 180 years. Under the tenure of the Russell family, the Aden estate comprised tenant farms, the now ruined Big Hoose, gate lodges, a laundry, and even a gasworks. The elegant buildings on the estate recall a prosperous farming family. The semicircular steading was influenced by French design seen by Alexander Russell, the second laird, who thought the design was an advance on traditional farm steadings. The centrepiece of this steading is the soaring ducat. Hundreds of pairs of rock doves roosted in their pigeonholes and provided fresh meat for the Russell family throughout the year. The first laird of Aden was Alexander Russell of Montcoffer, Banffshire. In 1758 he acquired Aden estate from William Ferguson of Kinmundy. Crown confirmation of Russell's ownership was given in a charter of 1766. He reorganised his tenant farms, planted woods for shelter, and built a modest house overlooking the South Ugi. On the 2nd of April 1767, he married Eliza Innes of Rosyburn. They had 3 children called Alexander, George, and Anna. Alexander, the eldest son, became the second laird of Aden following the death of his father in 1798. He was responsible for the rare semicircular farmsteading at Aden built around 1800, and during his tenure the family's surname changed from Russell with 1 L to Russell with 2 L's. 6 years prior to becoming the second laird of Aden, he had married Margaret Cummin, the daughter and heiress of James Cumming of Kinnenmouth and Bruntbrae. She came from an affluent family of landowners in Buchan. Consequently, the marriage of Alexander Russell and Margaret Cumming resulted in the joining of the lands of Aden and Kinnenmouth, bringing prosperity to the family and their estate. They had 12 children, 7 sons and 5 daughters. The 2 eldest sons, Alexander and James, became lairds of Aden in 1829 and 1831 respectively. James was responsible for enlarging the mansion house at Aden, now a ruin. It was designed by the influential Scottish architect John Smith of Aberdeen. James's wife, Caroline Lambton, redesigned the grounds in 1832, planting many specimen trees and creating landscape gardens and hothouses. In 1887, their son, Francis Shirley Russell, became the 6th laird of Aden. Educated at Oxford, he had a sparkling military career and attained the rank of Major General. Queen Victoria awarded him Companion of the Most Distinguished Order of St. Michael and St. George in recognition of his services overseas. His flair for writing was passed down to his son, Sidney Cumming Russell, the 8th and last laird of Aden. Sidney wrote a poignant poem on the birth of his eldest child, Meriel. It is one of several black and white prints on display here, which derive from a photograph album belonging to the Russell family. These prints capture happy family memories from the 1920s, when Aden was under Sidney's tenure, and depict his bride, Meriel Eleanor Featherstonehaugh, the couple's homecoming to Aden in 1922, their children, fun times at the beach and on ski slopes, and the changing seasons on the Aden estate. In Buchan, unmarried farm workers were fed in the farm kitchen and slept in the chamber. Normally they took the job on a 6-monthly basis and sought new employment at the spring or autumn feeing market, unless they were asked to bide. Living conditions were rough. The men hung their clothes on the wall of the chamber, locked their valuable possessions in a kist, and slept in a wooden box with a chaff mattress for comfort. Bothy ballads enabled farm workers to express their feelings about their pride in their work, their basic diet, the tyranny of the head man, and the virtue of the local lassies. The Book of Deer features the earliest surviving Gaelic writing from Scotland, written on vellum and browning over 1,000 years ago, and with later additions in Latin, Old Irish, and Scottish Gaelic from the early 1100s. This manuscript belongs to the category of Irish pocket gospel books, which were produced for private use rather than for church service. It is associated with the monks who live nearby in the monastery at Deer. Archaeological digs to discover the site of the monastery in this area are ongoing. The Book of Deer has been in the ownership of Cambridge University Library since 1715, when the library of John Moore, Bishop of Ely, was presented to the University of Cambridge by King George I.